Thank you for tuning in to Tyre Repair's Made Easy. I've decided to do this video because of the huge amount of really professionally done videos on YouTube showing you how to repair a cycle tyre wrong. So I'm going to show you how to do it the right way. First of all, here we have a cycle tyre with a puncture. First thing you need to do is make a mark adjacent to the valve. You can use chalk, lipstick even, whatever you've got to hand, something that's going to stay on there. There's a very good reason for this, which I'll show you after. Remove the valve core. And the nut that's on the valve. Make sure the beads are pushed in. Now the important thing is you start at the valve. Just hook the bead of the tyre up and you always start at the valve. The reason being, if you start opposite the valve, it makes it difficult to remove the tyre because the bead can't go in the well of the wheel. You'll see here, the opposite side, the bead is right in the well of the wheel, enabling me to lever this side up. If I'd done that the other way round, the valve would have stopped this. So we start at the valve. Take the bead off in small bites. Pull out the inner tube. This particular one's got an old woods type valve, which aren't very common now, but just an old one I had. I didn't mind deliberately puncturing. Now if you inflate the tube, that is where it's leaking from. We need to mark that, if I can find out what I've done with a marking crayon. Here it is. Just mark that position with 4 reference points. Now, if you align the valve with the original mark you made on the tyre, which is there, it will show you exactly where the tyre was penetrated in the first place. Now this is a dead easy one, but tiny thorns can be tedious. I've seen it so many times before when people have repaired the inner tube, they've missed the thorn in the tyre, which was barely poking through, and then they go down the road and they get yet another puncture, which of course is the same problem they had before, they just didn't find what it was. Right. I'm going to show you how to repair this now. The professional way of doing it would be to use a pre-cleaner, a rubber cleaner, such as this. It's made by Tech International. To be honest, you're not going to be able to get this stuff easily, and you probably won't anyway. But I'm just going to show you how to do it properly. We've pre-cleaned this area. You'll find there's often a slimy substance like silicone on the inner tube, which they use in the manufacturing process. while this probably helps to get it out of the, you know, like a release agent out of the moulds, it's not good as far as repairing it is concerned, so you want to get rid of that. Now professionally, on something like a car inner tube, you would use a buffing wheel like that on a low speed buffer. Again, you're not going to have this, so we're going to improvise. More often than not, they'll give you like sandpaper or something that's abrasive in your punch repair kit, so we're going to use that. Just inflate the tube again a little bit. As I said before, I've seen hundreds of these videos on YouTube, and whilst they're very professionally done with a clean white background in almost a lab environment, they don't tell you how to do it properly. So we're going to roughen the inner tube, and we're going to buff a slightly larger area than we need to repair. And these cycle tubes can be tedious because you can quickly lose I love these woods inner tubes, or woods valves. There's the hole. Again, might be an idea when you can see it to put some reference points so you don't lose sight of the hole. I'm going to use a tip-top repair kit simply because I think they make the best cycle patches. Oh dear, what a mess. This is an old one actually that I have in my own bicycle saddlebag. You just need a thin coat of vulcanising fluid. Now what I do, I inflate the tube again, and you'll see a tiny white speck of dust. That's the French chalk inside the tube where the hole is, so you don't lose it. Now we just want to let that air dry now. Don't use a hairdryer or anything like that, just let it dry naturally. I've actually seen people say that you put it on when it's wet. That is wrong. It has to be dry. Never ever put it on when it's wet. It's actually touch dry before you apply the patch. Here we have the patch. The Tip Top make an excellent cycle patch. Nice feathered edge. And you can see this now is nice and dry. You don't want to leave it any longer than sort of 20 minutes. If you happen to go off for lunch or something and forget about it, you just have to give it another coat of vulcanizing fluid, or chemical cement as it's sometimes called, and let it dry for further 10 minutes and reapply the patch. Well, I'm going to let all the air out, so it's nice and flat. We lay the patch, centre it over the hole, like so. We can see our reference points. Now the professionals use something like this. It's a ball bearing stitcher. It's really good. It's a patch roller. It's great for getting all the air out and you know, getting good adhesion. But you're not going to have that. So you can simply use the edge of the box. If you put it on a firm surface, you can roll the patch down from the centre out with the edge of the box. This polythene needs to be removed. You know when you've done it right because it doesn't peel the patch off. I actually saw a video that on YouTube, when he pulled the backing off, the patch lifted, and he then said, if this happens, just put more glue over the top, which is just terrible. You don't do that. If the patch lifts off, you haven't cleaned it properly, you haven't prepared the tube properly. I'd normally give it another stitch down, and then this is proper French chalk. Again, it's not the easiest stuff to get, but talcum powder would suffice. And there you have a proper repair. All we need to do now is remove the tyre. You can normally do this with your hands, to be honest. If not, use the tyre levers. Remove the object. Inspect the tyre inside. Make sure there's nothing else or any other damage. Rub your thumb round carefully. Check the rim tape on the wheel. Make sure there's no exposed spokes like this. This needs replacing. Again, this is just an old wheel with an old tyre for demonstration purposes, but I would replace this rim tape normally and clean the wheel up. Now to fit the tyre, you can normally do it with your hands. If it's a tight one, just lever it over. That's the first bead done. Push the valve through the hole. That will do it this way. Just put the, you can put the retaining nut on loosely. Tuck the tube in. There we go. Now, the important thing that no one seems to point out is you start opposite to the valve. You need to end at the valve. And the reason being, if you don't, it makes it hard to fit the tyre because the valve traps the bead. So you need to end, the last bit of the tyre needs to go on by the valve. Again, if it's difficult, this one isn't, use levers. Just tuck your lever in, take small bites at a time, and on it goes. Push the valve in to ensure the beads are under the valve before you inflate it. And there we are, you've done a successful repair. Thank you for watching Tyre Repairs Made Easy.